Hello and welcome again. I'm so glad that we are again meeting in this fourth video of Python fundamentals. And the topic today which we are going to learn is operators in Python. So let's see what we are going to learn today. In operators, we have unary operators and binary operators. In unary operators, we'll be seeing few unary operators, plus, minus, and not, logical negation operator, which we have in our syllabus. And then binary operators, in it we will see arithmetic operators, augmented assignment operators, relational operators, logical operators, membership operators, identity operators, bitwise operators, and shift operators. Again, bitwise and shift we don't have as such in the syllabus, and the syllabus emphasizes on these operators only, few of the operators, so we will see to it. And the only exception is that under binary operator, though I have written not is actually logical operator, but it is a unary operator, and we will see how it is a unary operator. So let's begin with the operators section. Firstly, arithmetic operators and binary operators. So what are binary operators? Binary means, as you know, 2. Bi means 2. So binary operators are those operators which needs at least 2 values or 2 objects or 2 operands to calculate a final answer. Like in mathematics, you have learnt a plus b, where a and b are operands. And which is the operator? Yes, plus is the operator. So now see what are the different binary operators, and now you have understood why this is known as binary, because it needs at least 2 operands. So the first one is plus, that is addition operator. It returns sum of 2 values. Like if you give on the prompt any 2 values, it will give you the sum like this. Subtraction operator subtracts the second operand from the first, yani 9 minus 2, so you will get 7. Again, asterisk or star symbol, which you say is the multiplication operator here, which multiplies 2 values. Remember, in computer science, you will see that this in many programming languages, this asterisk symbol, which is you say as star, is actually used as a multiplication operator when we work with different objects and values. So now see slash. Slash is the division operator. So it divides the first operand by the second operand and always return a float value. So whenever you divide anything with a single slash, so 9 is divided by 2. If you can see the example, you get 4.5. That is, you get a floating point value. So if you divide 8 by 2, if you do 8 by 2, so you will get 4.0. Yes, exactly, it returns a float value. Modulo operator. Now this % symbol which we have learnt in mathematics, this is here it is used as modulo operator, and the work of modulo operator is to produce the remainder of dividing the first operand by the second operand. So if you divide 9 by 2, then what is the remainder you get? Yes, you get remainder as 1. As you know that 9 is an odd number, so when we divide 9 by 2, so you get remainder as 1. Double slash. Double slash is the float division operator. It divides the first operand with the second operand, in which the whole part of the result is only given as the output, and the fractional part, that is anything which is after decimal, is truncated. It is not shown. Only the integral part, only the integer part, that is the whole part, is given, and whatever is there after decimal and after the point, it will not show. Like if we divide 9 by 2, you know the answer is 4.5 if we give only single slash and it returns a float value. But when we do 9 double slash 2, so it just truncates the 0.5 part and gives the integral part, the whole part. So that is 4. And it doesn't round off also. It is not rounding. It is just truncating the decimal part. It is just cutting off. Truncating means just cutting off the decimal part. Now come to exponentiation operator. This double star which you can see is the exponentiation operator, which we say as power, like x to the power y. So returns the number raised to a power or exponent, like 9 to the power 2, that is 9 into 9, 81. This you know in mathematics, 9, and if we write superscript 2 at the top, then 9 to the power 2 is 9 into 9, that is 81. So hope you have understood arithmetic operators. And some arithmetic function with negative numbers. So you know negative number calculation, like minus 9 plus 2 is minus 7 and minus 9 minus 2 is minus 11. So all this thing. And I would like to show you one thing here, like for example when we are doing minus 9 divided by 2. Now what will be the answer and why we have got minus 4.5? So if we multiply 2 with minus 4.5, then only we get minus 9. So 2, and in the quotient if we write minus 4.5, then only we get minus 9. So that is why minus 4.5 is the answer. But in case of minus 9 double slash 2, why the answer is minus 5? And in minus 9 mod 2, why it is remainder 1? So let's check out how it is being done. So let's see how this happens. Minus 9 divided by 2. So let us divide minus 9 with 2, and 2 minus 4.5 you get minus 9. And as you know that in division you have to give a minus, you have to minus, and so minus and minus, that makes it plus. So plus 9 and minus 9 will give you 0. So that is why the answer is minus 4.5. Now again minus 9 double slash 2, that is floor division. How we are getting minus 5? Let us see. So when we are dividing minus 9 by 2, now what number should we write here? Two is the divisor and minus 9 is the dividend whom we are dividing. So the number which it should be here must be less than the dividend. यानी the number जिसको हम यहाँ लिखेंगे ये इस नंबर से छोटा होना चाहिए. So that is why 2 into what should give you a value which is less than minus 9. We know 2 minus 5 are minus 10 and minus 10 is less than minus 9. So you cannot write like 2 into minus 4 as minus 8, because minus 8 is greater than minus 9. And we cannot write like that. Either the same value you should get or something which is less you should write just below the dividend. So 2 into minus 5 is minus 10, and put a minus in front of this because we subtract this from here. So minus and minus, that makes it 10. So 10 minus 9 is 1. So minus 5 is the answer, that is the integral value. You get the quotient without the decimal point, that is floor division, and 1 which you are getting is the remainder, which is the answer of minus 9 modulo 2. So now let's see. In the same way, there are several calculations I have given, I have shown, and you can also get it in the PDF file. So try to solve on your own. And remember that x to the power y, we can write it as x double star y, that is x to the power y in Python and x to the power y in mathematics. x to the power minus 5 we can write like 1 divided by x to the power y. 1 divided by x to the power y is the answer of x to the power minus 5. Now let's see unary operators. So what are unary operators? Unary operators that act on only one single operand. Like if you want to print minus a, so where a is the single operand and minus is the unary operator. For example, a is equal to 2. So if I want to print a, it will print 2, and if I want to print minus a, so it will print minus 2. So here minus is acting as the unary operator and not the binary subtraction operator. Similarly, b is equal to minus 5. So if you print b, you will get minus 5. If you print minus b, so minus of minus 5, that will make it 5. Now again a is equal to 0, so print a, you will get 0, minus a is also 0. So remember that unary operator that acts on only one single operand, and not is a logical operator, as well as you can say it as a unary operator, which we will see later. Now moving on to augmented assignment operator. Augmented assignment operators, we have equal to, plus equal to, divided by equal to, into equal to, minus equal to, modulo equal to, floor division equal to, and exponentiation equal to. Now how they work? Actually, when we write a is equal to b, that means you are assigning values from the right hand side to the left hand side operand. There should be some object which should take the value. Variable must be there, an object which should take the value whatever is there at the right hand side of equal to. That is, right hand side value is assigned to the left hand side variable. So equal to works like this. Now we can write a plus equal to b. Actually this is a is equal to a plus b. Now in short you can write a plus equal to b. That makes a sense of a is equal to a plus b. The calculation goes like this. That is, whatever is the value of a, whatever is the value of b, that will be added at the right hand side, and the new value will be given to a now. So a will get a new value. Similarly, a is equal to a slash b. You can write in a shorthand notation or augmented assignment operator notation, a slash equal to b. So the left hand side variable, operator, then equal to, and then the variable or the value at the right hand side. Similarly, a is equal to a into b, a into equal to b. So in the same manner all are given. So let me show you one example. See here, I have taken three variables a, b and c, and with the equal to operator we are assigning value 10 to a, 20 to b and 30 to c. Printing the values a, b, c is 10, 20, 30. Now if I write a into equal to b, so this is a shorthand notation of what? Yes, this is a shorthand notation of a is equal to a into b. So let's see what is the answer. Actually what we will get is the value of a will change, but the value of b will not change. A is at the left hand side, so the value of a now it will be a into b. So what was a? A was 10 and b was 20. So 10 into 20, that makes 200. So now the value of a will be 200, and the value of b you are not changing. Whoever is at the left hand side, the value of that variable gets changed. In the same manner, if we write, suppose b minus equal to 5. Now what will be the answer? The answer will be b is equal to, actually this is b is equal to b minus 5. That means subtract 5 from b and whatever the value is that you give it to b. So that means if you can write this as this also. Either we can write like this or in shorthand we can write it like this. So let's see the value of B now. So what will be the answer of B? So now the value of B will be 20 minus 5, that is 15. Yes, so this is your augmented assignment operator shorthand notation. So in the same way you can work with different assignment operators and they work in the same manner. So now let's move on to relational operators. It's very interesting. Relational operators are what? Relational operators, they are used for comparing the values of the left hand side and the right hand side. You must have thought that equal to, which we have just seen, which is an assignment operator, we use it in mathematics as checking whether LHS is equal to RHS or not. But here we use relational operators where we use double equal to check whether the left hand side variable is same as the right hand side variable or not. That is, the left hand side value or the operand or the object's value is same as the right hand side value or not. So for that we use double equal to. So for example, A double equal to B, you check the value of A is B or not. If it is true, then it will give you the value true. If it is false, it will give you the value false. So for all the relational operators, there are 6 relational operators which always return Boolean value, either true or false. So what are the 6 relational operators? Double equal to, as I have just said, to check. Not equal to, now this is the symbol of not equal to. So A not equal to B, like this we can write, and then greater than, equal to, less than, and less than equal to. And A and B can be any expression or a variable, remember. So let's see an example of this. So let's write A is equal to minus 10, B is equal to 30. Now check, and C is equal to also 30. So now let's check. A greater than B, false, because minus 10 is less than 30. Then A less than B, this will be true. A greater than equal to B, A less than equal to B, whether A is equal to B. So A double equal to B is false, that is minus 10 is not equal to 30. Now let's see B double equal to C, yes, it's true. And B not equal to C, this is false. B greater than C, now both of them are having the same value. So let me write the values directly. 30 greater than 30 is false. But if you write 30 greater than equal to 30, this will be true, because greater नहीं तो क्या हुआ, it is equal to तो any of them must be true. So you get a true value. Similarly, 30 less than 30, this is false. 30 is not less than 30, but 30 is less than equal to 30. So if it is not less than but it is equal to, so you will get true. So in the same way you can use it using a variable also, you can use it with values also, right? So this is what about relational operators. So the 6 relational operators you can use it. And let's see one not equal to as well. Okay, we have seen this. B not equal to C. Something more on relational operators. For numeric data types, 4 double equal to 4.0, you get a true value. 4 greater than 4.0, you get a false value. For lists and tuples, if you take list, if they have the same value, you get a true value. L1 not equal to L2, you get a false because both are same. Now let us take lists directly here. 11 comma P, this is the first list having 2 elements, this is the second list having 2 elements. 10 comma P. So see here, 11 which is greater than 10, it checks element by element. So the first element is greater than the first element of the right hand side. So you are writing double equal to, which is not same. Both the lists are not same. So that is why false. So 10 comma 20 greater than 4 comma 50. Why you have got a true value? Because it checks the first element with the first element at the right hand side. So the first element of the left hand side is 10, which is greater than 4. So that is why you have got a true value. Similarly here 10 comma 20 is greater than 10 comma 21. This is false because 10 and 10 is same. Now again the second element will be checked, 20 and 21. Over here 21 is more than 20. But here you have shown 20, this one is greater. So that is false because 20 is less than 21. Similarly here 22 comma 33. Checking one tuple with another tuple and both are true. Both are same, so that is why you have got a true value. Now let's see some more principles on using parenthesis. A comma b is equal to 10 comma 40. So the value of a is 10, b is 40. B minus a is greater than equal to a plus 20. So it calculates the value at the left hand side, b minus a, that is 40 minus 10, that is 30. And over here a plus 20, that is 10. 10 plus 20, 30. So 30 over this side, 30 also this side. So 30 greater than equal to 30, yes, true. So always remember, the work of parenthesis is, suppose you are writing like this, x plus y less than y into 2. So it is equivalent to x plus y in parenthesis, that is the left hand side expression, and the right hand side expression also will be considered inside the parenthesis, right? So this is same as this one. Now moving on, for storing data types in ASCII value, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Remember that the ASCII values are given for every character. On the keyboard, if you can see on a keyboard, every character has some equivalent ASCII value. So remember, capital A is 65. So like that onwards, capital B is 66 and C is 67, like that. Z equal to 90, capital Z is 90. In the same way, small a is 97. So remember, capital A you can work on till Z. Remember the small a's value, that is 97, you can work on till small z. And space is 32, blank space. So if you check, a is equal to a, that is small a, false, because they are checking as per the ASCII values, but the ASCII values are different. Map is equal to map. Over here m is capital and here m is small, so they are not equal, so false. Map is equal to map, yes, now they are exactly same. Here map is less than equal to map. Why this is true? Because capital M has a smaller value than small m. As you know that small a is 97 and capital A is 65, so obviously small a will have a greater ASCII value. So small m will have a greater ASCII value, so definitely less, this is shown at the greater side, so that means true. So the ASCII value of the first string character will be checked with the first string character, so this has a greater value, so that is why you will get a true value. Similarly over here, kv not equal to kv, true. So like that you can understand. The last one, ant is less than equal to ants. Now this will be same, because for the three alphabets it has got the same value, the first three over here also, so that is why it has got a true value. And as we all know, for boolean, true is equivalent to 1 and boolean false is equivalent to 0. So 1 equal to true, yes, 1 is equal to true. 0 is equal to true, false. 0 is not equal to true. 1 is equal to false, this is also false. And 0 is equal to false, yes, 0 is equal to false, so true. Now moving on to identity operator, is not. These two are the special identity operators, and they check the variables or the expressions of the objects as per their IDs, yani the address, the memory locations. According to the memory location of the objects, the comparison takes place. So there is a difference between double equal to, which checks the equality as per the value, and is operator checks according to the identity, that is ID of the object. And we have learned ID earlier, that ID is the memory location of any object. Now is not. Is not is just opposite of is. So it checks whether the two variable point to the same object, else it will return a false value. Is not, we check that whether the two variables are pointing to different objects. If they are pointing to different objects, you will get a true value over here. Now let's see, P, Q, R. You've taken three values, 10 which is given to P, 10 which is again assigned to Q, and 20 which is assigned to R. So you are checking here P double equal to Q. So when you are checking over here P double equal to Q, it is checking as per the values. P and Q, both of them are having the same value, so true. P double equal to R, no, they are not having the same value, so false. P is Q, that means the memory location of P and the memory location of Q is both the same. Yes, both are same because both are having the same value, so true. P is R, no, they are not having the same memory location. P and R, they have different memory locations, so that is why this is false. Similarly, P is not Q, false, because P is Q. P and Q are pointing to the same memory location. So in this way we can work on with identity operator. And difference between equality operator, that is double equal to, and identity operator is where the difference lies and where is the exception. The exception is, suppose we are taking three variables. One variable we have assigned A as high, a string, B another string high, C we are taking input, a string input from the user. Now suppose user has given again high. So the fact is that A and B both are pointing to the same ID, both are pointing to the same memory location which is holding the value high, which is a character, a string. Now C which you have taken, the input which you have taken from the user as a string, it gets stored in a different memory location. So now if we check with double equal to, that is their value, the values are same, that is the value of A, B and C all are same, all are containing the value high, HI high, but the memory location is different. So if we check the memory location of A with B, it will be same, that is ID of A is ID B, they are equal, that is A is B, so that will be equal. But if we write A is C, that will be false, because though the values are same, their IDs are different, their memory locations are different, because C is the input taken from the user. As you can see here, now the IDs are different. A, B are having the same ID. You can check it practically also. Now the reason behind this behavior is that there are few cases where Python creates two different objects that both store the same value. Now these are input of strings from the console, writing integer literals with many digits, very big integers when you write, they are stored on a different memory location, and writing floating point and complex literals. So in these cases, the variables they have a different memory location. Now moving on to membership operator. Membership operator tests for membership in a sequence, and membership operator, interestingly, it also returns boolean value either true or false. So we have seen that relational operators, that is less than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, double equal to and not equal to, they return the output in boolean values true and false. Is and is not operator, that is the identity operators, they also return values in boolean, that is true and false. And membership operator, that is in and not in, they also return values in true and false, that is in boolean values. Now what in does? In, it checks whether it's a member of any particular object or not. So let us see some example, like results to true value if it finds a variable at the left hand side of in operator in the sequence mentioned in the right hand side of the in operator. So else it will return false, and not in is just the opposite. So in the example, A is equal to 30 we have taken, B is equal to a list we have taken, 10, 20, 30 and 40 are the elements of this list. So if A in B, Now we are checking here whether A is in B or not. That is, whether A is a member of B object or not. Yes, A, which is 30, is a member of B list. So that is why if this condition gets true, so we enter and we print this statement. So it is checking whether A is a member of B or not. Else it will come to a false situation and then it will print A is missing in the list. If else, we will learn later. If else, they are decisional statements, conditional statements. So this is a condition which we have given, A in B. It is checking whether A in B or not. So this is the output part which is visible on the interpreter shell, and this is the script mode code which we have written in a file and saved it. Now let's move on, and here we can check with not in as well, so you can try it. Now moving on to logical operators, or and not. So logical operators, they perform logical operations on given two variables or values, and logical operators, they also return true or false value. But there is an exception. Now let us see one by one what they do. OR operator, the OR operator combines two expressions which makes its operand. So let me give you a simple funda of OR operator. So now suppose I ask you whether you want to take tea or coffee. So if you want to take tea, okay, then that is true, and coffee. So if I say yes, tea is there at home and coffee is not there, then you will ask, okay, then give me tea. If you prefer coffee, then I can give you coffee. Suppose coffee is there at home, and if both are there at home, I can serve anyone. And if both are not there, then you will get a false value. No, I don't have anything at home. So let us see. Let us consider X as tea and Y as coffee. So, and consider that X and Y, they are the relational expressions. Relational expressions are expressions which use relational operators like this. So X and Y like this, and OR in between. So let's see, we can get a false value at this side or a true value for the relational expression. So how it works? So X, you have tea at home? No. You have coffee at home? No. So okay, we don't have anything. You have tea at home? No. But you have coffee? Yes, I have coffee. So okay, serve me with coffee. True. Again, you have tea at home? True. You don't have tea, you don't have coffee? Okay, no problem. You have tea, then serve it. So true. Again, you have tea at home? Yes. You have coffee at home? Yes. So okay, true. That means you can serve anything. So here if you can see the example, like 2 less than 4 is true. This is 2 less than 4 is false. Oh, I'm sorry. 2 less than 4 is true. Or now 50 greater than equal to 10. Now this one is also true. So true or true. True or true, you get true value. So in the same way you can do other calculations also like this. But if we use OR, where the expressions X or Y, they are some kind of numbers or strings or list as operands, then what will be the answer? Actually what happens when it is so, we have this chart, like if the expression X is false and Y is also false, then the value of Y is returned. If X is false and Y is true, so the one which is having a true value, it is returned. Again here X is true and Y is false, so the value of true is returned. Over here X is true and then Y is also true, but you have got true value as X in the beginning itself, so that is why X is returning. So now you can see here 0 or 0. Now remember that 0, 0.0 and 0 plus 0j are false value, otherwise all the positive and negative numbers are considered as true. So false or false, you get false. Then here you can see 0 or 5. So the first value is false, the second value is a number which is true. So false or true, this is the situation. So you are getting the value of y, that is 5. Here 5 or true, that means true or false. So the value of true is returned. 5 or 8, both are true. So the first true value is returned as x. The first one x, the second one is y. Now see here in the other example of string, and remember always that an empty string is also considered as false. Otherwise all the strings are considered as true value. Even a space is a character, so it is also considered as a true value. So in the same way, if you check that a, which is given as a string, which is a true value, and an empty space which is a false value, so true or false, which one will be returned? In case of true or false, we know that the value of true is returned, that is x. So the value of a is returning here. So in the same way you can go for the other examples as well. Now let's move on to the AND operator. And in the AND operator, again we have some funda, and this AND operator also returns true or false value. The funda is, if you have a pen and a paper, so this is the case when both are relational expression, you can use this funda. That is if both are relational expressions like this. So let us consider x as pen and y as paper. So you have a pen, you don't have a pen, you don't have a paper, so you cannot write. So you get x and y as false. You don't have a pen, you have a paper only, you cannot write, so false. You have a pen, you don't have a paper, so still you cannot write, so false. You have a pen and a paper, both you have, then true. Yes, now you can write. So now you can check the examples which are given. Now let us see the another scenario where the expressions x and y are number strings or lists as operands. Now here what we have is, if x is false and y is also false, then return the value of x. Here we are not returning false or true, here we are returning the value of x. Remember, x is false and y is a true value. So in that case also return the first value which is false, because we need both true, then only you return a true value. So the second one, true and false. So the first one is true, so now you check for the second one whether it is true or not, but it is a false value, so return the false value y. Again, the first one is true and the second one is also true, so the return the value y, the second value. So you can see the example 0 and 0, false and false, you return false, 0 value. False and true, you return the first value which is false, because in case of false and true, you return the first value only x. So that is why you are returning the value of 0 which is false. Again, true and false. So in case of true and false, 0 is returned, that is the false value is returned. So you can see the examples. This is also there in the blog, this PDF file, so you can check it out there and you can work on the practical part. Now moving on to the logical negation operator, that is NOT operator. So logical NOT operator works on only single expression or operand, which is a unary operator. So let us consider this like x. If x is a true value, NOT of x. NOT of x means just the opposite of x will be returned. So if x is true, then the output will be false, and if x is false, then the output will be true, just the opposite. So if you can see the example like NOT 5, that means NOT of 5 is a true value, so NOT of true value is false. NOT 0, 0 is a false value, so NOT false is true. NOT -7, -7 is a true value, as I have already said that any value other than 0, 0.0 and 0 plus 0j, any number, is true value. Only these are considered as false, and an empty string is also considered as false. So NOT of -7, NOT of true is false. So you can check out, and you can also use it using relational expressions, or you can give it inside in front of any logical expression as well. Not is itself a logical operator, and you can give it before any big expression. I hope logical operators are also clear. Now let's see finally chain comparison operators and how we can use it. For example, 10 less than 20 less than 35, it is same as 10 less than 20 and 20 less than 35. So you will get true value in both the cases because both are same. This is what chain comparison operator is. Now let's see operator precedence. Now you have to remember the priority wise use of the operators, as you have learnt in maths also, BODMAS rule, where you use bracket first and then off and then division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. So in the same way you have a priority list, but there are few exceptions also. So over here, like exponentiation has a higher priority, then multiply, divide, modulo, floor, and then you have addition, subtraction, like this it goes on. And at the last you have logical operators. But what if an expression contains all those operators which are at the same level? So in that case we have to understand the operator associativity, which actually tells that left to right associativity is considered for all the operators except for exponentiation operator. So exponentiation operator, other than that, left to right associativity is checked. And for example, if multiplication, division, floor division, they have the same precedence and they are used in the same expression, then the operator on the left is evaluated first and then the operator on its right, and then so on. That is from left to right we move on. So let us see this example, like 4 into 85 slash 50 double slash 3. So here into slash and double slash, all of them they have the same priority level. If you can see the table, this into slash and double slash, they have the same priority level, they are at the same level. Now what will happen? So in that case, from left to right the execution will take place. That means 4 into 85, first you will get 340, and then in the memory 340 divided by 50 you will get 6.8, and then 6.8 double slash 3, that is floor division, and you will get an integral value 2.0. I have shown it the breakup of this calculation also over here. So how you are getting 2.0? So in this way you are getting 2.0, and this is same as if you use a bracket, like 4 into 85 will be calculated first, and then again the output of that will be divided by 50, and then again that output will be floor divided with 3, and you get 2.0. Now where is the exceptional case? The exceptional case is in the case of double star, that is exponentiation operator. So wherever we have exponentiation operator, it works from right to left. So for example, you have this case 2 double star 3 double star 4, that is 3 to the power 4 is calculated first, and then whatever is the value 3 to the power 4, 3 to the power 4 is actually 81. 3 3s are 9, 3s are 27, 3s are 81. So 3 to the power 4 is 81. Then 2 to the power 81 is calculated, and you get a big long value like this. So this is same as this. So here you are calculating from the right hand side towards the left hand side, and it is not like this. It is not like you calculate this first and then this. So I hope the examples of operator associativity are also clear. Thank you.